Kids and cadets, what's happening? Trying this live thing again. So I'll show you a Honda mower that showed up this week. It's a 2011 HRR2167 X-Ray Alpha. Let me turn this camera around and we're going to try to rectify this. I'll tell you the story behind this thing. So this showed up in my yard this week, no tag on it. No one has told me recently they were going to drop one off for repair. The only spoke to last weekend was a gentleman with a generator. He said it had ran after Hurricane Irma and it won't start now. I told him I could look at it, clean the carburetor. He said, how much? I told him 60. He says, well, I'll try to do it, but the problem is I get things apart and can't get them back together. I told him to try YouTube, that there's great tutorials on disassembling and cleaning and reassembling carburetors. So haven't heard from him, so maybe he's going to try it on his own. So maybe 3 or 4 months ago when I was selling some units, some guys did tell me, hey, I've got a mower that doesn't run. If I'm in the area, I'll drop it off. But I don't ever recall anybody saying they had a Honda. So this could be the deal where they just dropped it off for free as a donor. Like I said, there was no name or no tag on this. So my son was here yesterday. We looked this over and he agrees with me. He thinks it's a donated machine. Or the other scenario would be somebody knocks on my door next weekend and says, hey, is my mower ready? And I'll be like, what mower? The one I left in your front yard 2 weeks ago. It's a Honda. So that may transpire. You never know. So here's the model number. It's the HRR216, like I mentioned. Just looking this thing over, you can see the tread wear is in decent condition. It does look like it's been well used, but not abused. I don't think there's a whole lot of hours on this for a 2011. So I'm not sure what the story is with it, why it won't run. The tank is empty, bone dry. We have some fresh Wawa fuel here. We're gonna try to see what ails this thing. It does have this recon number on it, reconditioned. I don't know by who, maybe a Honda dealer, and that's their serial number to look up the repair. Maybe there was a recall on this model, but originally when this thing sold, it was a high dollar machine. So I'm surprised somebody's just dumping it in my yard. They left it kind of close to the street. When I got home, I thought if I was a scrapper, I would wonder if that's free game or not. So we got a little bit of buildup here, and the air filter cover, some trash, styrofoam, some paper, a little bit of leaves. So when we looked at it yesterday, my son and I, we noticed a lot of ants were on this thing, and I see them crawling around now. There's a lot of ants, so maybe there's an ant nest here under the recoil or somewhere. So let's tip this thing over and look at the underside, see if the blade is in just as good a condition as the tread here on these tires. This is a rear wheel drive. I see the cable for the rear wheel going here. This is your blade engagement. Okay, just looking at the blade, it doesn't look too beat up. There's some meat back here. It's not been sandblasted. The only thing I see is a lot of buildup here, and they were running over large bushes or trees. Holy cow, this thing's jammed in there. So I think they ran the shit over whatever they could with this machine. So they probably should have raked the yard first. A lot of buildup here. I'll have to dig all that out. That's not helping us. What do we got up here? Okay, I seem to be going in and out, but it was wrapped around the pulley. This piece of garbage. So let's fuel it. What do you say? And I have Happy Juice nearby. If nothing happens, we'll give it a shot of this. So I'm surprised somebody left me with this good-looking Honda. But like I said, it's not over with yet. I could get a call next week. And somebody could say that was my machine that I left in your front yard. How's it going with you guys? I put out a video this morning about yesterday. I had ended up selling 5 units. Lady showed up in a Ford Expedition. She was going to buy one, but I ended up fixing both of her machines for $110. They came the same day and picked up her and her husband. He came in a van, drove her. And a guy down the street pushed one down here. And he knocked at my door this morning, and he took his. So I had 5 sales and 3 off the street repairs. So I was busy yesterday. Only have one guy coming out so far for a Craftsman 80th anniversary rider mower, the DYS 4500. I'm trying to offload that cheap with an extra deck just because I don't have time to mess with it. It's been on my trailer forever. And hopefully they take it. They're driving south from Tampa, so we'll see what happens with that deal. I figured I could squeeze this online or live session in before they got here. Fuel is on. This is an automatic choke. I'm just going to pull on it, make sure I don't chop up Mr. Cluck and Mr. Snake. It's got throttle control, so I'm up here at choke. If it does start, I'll just bring the lever back to slow. So let's see what's going to do or not do. Doody-doo. Okay, we'll juice it one time and then I'll drop the bowl and see if there's a lot of snot in the carburetor bowl. Okay, one thing I can see is the wafer for the choke is in the wide open position. I have the lever set to choke, so I don't know why that's not springing closed. Let me grab a small screwdriver and try to poke this. Maybe it's gummy and stuck. Or the cables misaligned or not adjusted right. This might have the, what kind of choke does it have? Trying to figure this one out. What kind of automatic choke? I don't see that wax plunger deal on this one, which is sometimes a problem. So I don't know what the deal is with this. Okay, I know what the issue with this thing is. You heard it surging. I went ahead and engaged the blade. So when I engaged the blade, it smoothed out. So what the deal is with that surging at idle is the idle jet circuit is plugged up. You got that up and down RPM, but when I put a load on it with the blade engaged, it's smoothed itself out. So this needs to be taken apart. The idle jet circuit cleaned. I wish I had an old carburetor around to show you, but I've shown you in some previous videos how to remove those and clean them out. It's a tiny, tiny hole. I even have to use a small brush wire to get in there sometimes to clean it out. It's such a small hole, and if those get plugged up, you're going to have this surging. It's starving for gas. It gets a little gas, increases RPM, and then drops back down. So I don't know who dropped this off or why, but there was hardly anything wrong with this thing other than it'll need the blade sharpened. I'm not sure about the oil condition. We'll look at that. Probably should have did that earlier, but we'll do it right now. So what else is happening with you guys? Doesn't look terribly bad. You thread the dipstick and just dip it on top of the hole without rethreading it. You'll get your oil level. Is it the right level? And it wasn't terribly worn out. So this is a mystery, the 111. Easy Start GCV160. Why somebody gave it to me. No fuel in it when we first looked at it. Put fuel in it, it starts, and it's got a surge. Just for the fun of it, it's heated up. Let me try starting it a second time, see if we get lucky. Okay, you saw that the smart drive engaged. So this turned out to be a good one. Go ahead and fix this thing up and put it aside and see if somebody claims it or not. If they don't by the end of the season, I'll up it for sale. So in the last chat, I didn't check my chat. Here on the right, I had it on full frontal screen. I was advised by my daughter-in-law, if you want the chat session on the side, you have to do the selfie. Well, I saw last week somebody asked me where I'm getting these. So when I first started with messing with these small engines, I had actually gotten a couple from my brother who found them on the side of the road. I rectified them and they sold rather quickly. That gave me the idea to proceed with maybe doing this as a sideline. So I was on Facebook Marketplace selling the 2 units I had, and then I had seen some ads for metal scrappers. They said, we'll pick up any metal for free, quick response, yada yada. So I messaged a couple of them and said, hey, do you get lawn mowers, push mowers? And they said yes. And I said, well, if you get them, I'd come out and pick them up, maybe 5 or more. And a couple of them agreed. They contacted me. Established a relationship with them. They would call when they got enough money to pick up, and I fixed those, sold those, and when I would sell them through Facebook, I would also put up, we'll take a non-mower trade. I got dead mowers that way. So those 2 initial scrappers faded away. One got a job. I think both got real jobs. They were just doing this on the side. So by that time, I had plenty of mowers to fix. One night I was out here and a scrapper stopped 2 or 3 houses down to pick up. I think they had some bicycles down there. So I ran down the street after him and asked him if he gets mowers. He says, yeah, I even got some at home right now. So that's my go-to guy now. The guy that delivers. For a couple of years, he goes through bikes and lawnmowers. So that's how I started out. From time to time, I'll see scrappers out and about with mowers on their trailers, and I've stopped there and bought off the street that way. So down in Miami, the guy that messaged me, I would suggest you maybe find out where the scrap yards are. Waiting in line to get weighed in. I would just go down the line and hand out your phone number to these guys and tell them you'll buy non-running machines. They'll get maybe $2 or $3 in weight at the scrap yard with the price of 5 or 6 cents a pound. So I give them $10 as a minimum price, and I'll pay more if they've got a bag or if it's a good-looking unit. So $10 and up, they really like that price point. They're making a heck of a lot more money than junk weight at the scrap yards. So there you go. I'm gonna switch this over and see if anybody's here chatting. I don't know if I can do anything with it or not. I got to get my son out here and help me with it. Figure out how to do this. Mix Mowers is on. I got to see if I can say hi to him. We got to get my son out here and we're going to put together a machine. I've been buying new machines online. I've got a couple of Hypercraps self-propelled. I've got a couple of Remingtons. I also have a company, Senix, S-E-N-I-X tools. Uncle Brad was here when that one came in from UPS, and he said he's bought one of their tools, not a mower, but a tool of some sort. So anybody that grew up in Berwyn and spent a lot of time in Cicero, Illinois, they know their tools. So we'll have to put that Senix together. It's got a 125cc Briggs & Stratton engine. So we got to see how that goes together. So I'm still messing with this chat deal. I got to figure out how to do this. See if I can go to the comments here. Sorry you guys. Big thunderstorm came in last night off the Gulf of Mexico, and you see that big tear. I was putting mowers away, and I was just ready to tie down this 10 by 10 tent that I got on the side of the road. It had one small tear in it, but now it's got a big tear in it right here. But it's good enough to keep most of the sun off of me. What happened is this thing turned into a parachute, and it landed on my trailer and got a big gash here. So that was unfortunate. I was seconds away from tying it down, and the thing went airborne. So I'm going to give this another minute here and try to figure out how to do this chat. If it's not going to work out, so mix mowers, I just added as a moderator. I guess you control bad people. With a name like Mick, you're probably good at managing men, so we'll see. Don't have very many women on my channel. It's like 90% men. You can go and see the analytics, and this is mostly old men here looking at mowers. So I'm not having much luck bringing this back to the chat. So I'm going to give up here in a minute. Sorry, I'm not commenting on you guys. I don't really know what I'm doing. I got one thumbs up and one's watching. Maybe when I have a better set schedule, I'll schedule a live chat. It's just that people show up and I got to turn this off to deal with selling a mower. I was kind of dead this morning with nobody scheduled except for the writer guy. whoever showed up, appreciate it. I'll probably see you later. Once I download this, I'll see who showed up. But if you got any questions, go to one of my recent videos and post there, and I can respond to you that way. Because I noticed once the video is posted, I can't respond to anybody that said anything here. Okay, I'm going to call it quits. I'm just going around in a circle. Sorry about that. I'll get it. Actually, I think no, that didn't help. I thought I might have had it. Still working on it. Okay, sorry guys. Don't know what I'm doing. I got to get my son out here to help me. Have a good week. Hope you like looking at this 2011 Honda that started for us. Just needs a carb clean. As always, tip your waitress and wait staff. Have a good day today.